I completely forgot what I was doing, but timestamps do exist, and I was gonna say something else and I completely forgot. So anyway, not that it's gonna take me long to really remember everything, because yeah, we're just trying to get something here started. I didn't accept this, but that's because I stopped at an odd time. What did I take? Exploration, this is the resolve one. I know I took something else, didn't I? Oh, large baskets. Excuse me. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else. So I don't think my thumbnail for the last episode was that far off, because as it turns out, we are just sitting here looking at stones. 3 big stone nodes, which should pretty much last me near the end of the settlement. However, woodcutters gather. Well, let's actually do this and see, because it's not like we're making use of both woodcutting camps. If we were, then we'd be a lot worse. But for the moment. Although, are we benefiting from this? No, we're not. So, yeah, we'll just move on. But we do want to move this woodcutters camp over towards the west, because we want to open up space for the hearth, is what I'm trying to say. We're not sacrificing it. Oh, we are, because we are making oil. My mistake. But, yeah, with this press going and with a few... well, I was going to say with the wheat node going, but that's obviously not there anymore. But... We should be set, pretty much. So, we actually should set this here. And get the next people going. Now, that hurts my resolve, but... there's not much else we're doing at the moment. I feel like there's something else I needed to do, aside from these newcomers. Which will help out, but... I need to see. So... yeah, I think I'm just going to take them and do my best. It's not going to be the best, but... we'll make do, because I want to put 2 of these down. Now, again, keeping in mind, if this were, oh my goodness, I forgot what I was trying to say. If this were a higher prestige, then this would not fly at all. But thankfully, you know, it's working out. I think we can double up on this as well. Yeah. That being said, I need to make sure. I think I do need a blight post. I'm trying to increase the number of stacks of oil I'm burning. But we do need a blight post, so yeah. Switch this around. Put harpies in here if possible. We'll do a little switcheroo here. But otherwise, we do need these. So I am looking at something. Don't we have a mine somewhere? Where are we? Oh, the kiln. I was like, oh, I have a mine. No, I don't. It's a kiln. Whoops. Well, anywho. We need 1 more fabric. Help. Do we have anything for that? We do. We have 1 algae, but we'll make do. So once we bring that, yeah, we'll have them not... we'll have the harpies stop. Actually, should not have taken away the things there, but until we need more planks, we'll let this harpy make this thingy-majiggy, and then we'll move on. That being said, we do still need to make coal, so yeah, Jarke was kind of important, but aside from that, because... as it turns out, they alternate between the same priority. I don't know why I didn't remember that, but hey. Also, we should be cutting these trees. Yeah, so let's do some maneuvering. And we'll do our best. How long is this going to take? Yeah, 1:30, so we should be okay. Jerky fulfilled. That was the sound that I heard earlier. Yeah, we should actually have made that earlier. But... yeah, what I want to do is make another stonecutters camp. That's all I have to say at the moment. Now, at a certain point, I do need to work on cutting trees over here. But for the moment, let's clear this space, and then I'll be happy to do whatever. Actually, I'll just cut this tree and then be happy to do whatever. So, yeah, food production speed increased during Drizzle. Unfortunately, we don't have any other food production aside from, well, the kiln here. And, yeah, we want to use the temple. That's right. So, I don't need both of these working in the stonecutters. I'll still put another person in the stonecutters. It's not going to be as great, but it'll have to do. Also, I'm going to do a switcheroo here because of resolve. But once this gets made, yeah, our hostility will decrease, and yeah, let's start cutting into these trees here. If for no other reason than the mine, but really we're just trying to make another hearth. I don't know if there's enough space. I should have checked. We're also sitting on a blueprint, but it's not like Well, we'll actually see. We'll see. We'll see. So what do we have? Explorer's Lodge Tavern for brawling, and then wine or ale, but it's just kind of sit there. Building materials would be nice because I'm getting a lot of stones, and then this shirt coats if I can. I think yeah, I'm sitting on some leather. Not sure about resin, but we can set this up. Assuming, of course, that we even have enough cloth to do so, which we don't. So yeah, away we go. I'm gonna leave this harpy open. Let's see here. Let's try to make shelter. I don't think I'm gonna be able to though. We'll find out though. And keeping in mind, if there's a small, there's a small glade over here. I actually should be having them cut this way. Down towards the south, towards the small glade for the sake of the storm. Yeah, hold on. We're just gonna go straight gung-ho into it, or try. If we can't make it, so be it, but hey, and then yeah, we can't make any more oil because, hey, guess what? We're not getting enough stuff from the farm. Although I think I still need the berries because I want to stockpile in case we don't have any more complex food because everyone's eating jerky. So yeah, I could use the meat instead, but I don't want to do that. So so yeah, we'll do anything else instead. And then yeah, we continue to make bricks in the kiln. Not the most efficient, but it'll help. And we don't have the wood for this, so I mean, we can instead do this. These are actually more important at the moment, but we'll see. And yeah, we need to cut into this. So basically, the moment the cut, actually, I should actually make this a bit easier for them to cut into. But we do want to move over. Now, when our resolve gets settled, I will be happy to just focus on cutting here. Also, I should do this because we're sitting on blue resolve that I could use. But other than that, I could slow down this. Does this actually affect me? Well, we're going to slow it down anyway. Because, as it turns out, we don't have enough... We don't have enough to make oil. Though we do want to just make... We might as well just make use of all the oil we have. These harpies don't need to be standing here. Actually, they don't. So... Again, we'll do another switcheroo here. But... Yeah, while we have people sitting around in the press not doing anything, we'll switch workers around for resolve, primarily. We should be at like 6 or 7 hiss. Never mind. Cysts. Oh, we'll be fine. And that was a bit early, but it's fine. Also, there's a coal vein here. There's also a clearance water geyser, which will help out immensely for oil production. But we'll deal with it later. So... If we do this, everyone will be at blue resolve. That's fine for the moment, but... yeah, Weaver is nice. Let's make sure... Because incense would be good for the temple. Not that I have too many foxes, but we still have a big amount. Then we have a bathhouse. Yeah, that's right. We do have a bathhouse. Can we do anything with it? No, because we need containers. Here, though, we can incense it up. Rip fabric, but... With the farm, I shouldn't need to worry as much. I feel anyway, but we'll see. The cooperage is could, but I think we'll go tea house instead. If we need to branch out. At this point, it's kind of on a need-by-need basis. But we'll put you guys back over to cutting these trees. I should put a warehouse here. I don't have the cloth, though, so never mind. My next question, yeah, we're about to run out of oil. That's fine for the moment. My question is, yeah, so we're not going to make that much oil. But, hey. Otherwise, we are sitting on a bunch of stuff. But, we'll find out what else we can do. I think, am I making bonus oil? No, I'm not. I'm going crazy. But I probably don't even need both lizards here, but we're just going to do it for the moment. And yeah, we'll see. I'll accept these orders during the storm. Probably every single order, really, because that's what we'll have. I wanted to do a thing. I'm not going to get to do it, so... Whoops. But... Yeah, we should be okay. Yeah, I wanted to use more woodcutters. I could, still. 24, 48, yeah. So let's do that really quickly. We'll put 2 foxes here. And try to get some more wood. Again, I could opt to use this coal vein, but we'll see. I also have people doubling up on these stone nodes, but I think that's kind of warranted as well. Shrug, that's all I have to say. Also, I'm not using any wood anywhere else, so it's really just all the traveling that I've been doing during the clearance season that's causing me to oof myself. Anywho. I forgot how long... I thought it tells me how long, but anywho. Yeah, I thought it tells me how long the resolve lasts, but I guess we'll find out. Because during the storm, we are definitely going to be at negative resolve, but we should be able to handle it. We'll see. If I had higher impatience, we would not be in this situation, but... Nah. But the most important part is, yeah, I do want to cut towards this Forbidden Glade. I should be able to handle this Forbidden Glade. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And how much more oil do I have? Kind of. Alternatively, I would want to make another plantation here, because I feel like we're not getting everything. Yeah, you know what? Just to be safe, because I'm sitting on a free builder anyway, let's throw an extra villager in there. Fishing hut, yeah, so, I mean, if we have to make this fishing hut again, I would be kind of surprised. But for the moment... Also, we don't have all the shelters we need. I swear there's a way to check. I don't remember anymore. Well, anywho. Check the resolve from Exploration Expedition. But I'm going absolutely crazy, I guess. Anywho. As an emergency, I could burn and or sacrifice some coal. But while we're sitting here, we should be okay. And yeah, and once we cut all of these, we should be able to place another hearth here. Still, though... I'm looking at another. I'm trying to look for another warehouse, but we don't have the fabric either. Just straight up. And yeah, there goes Exploration Expedition. When need be, we can do a different thing. We can sacrifice coal. It's a temporary measure, but it should work. It should work. And we'll see. I mean, I could opt to open the Forbidden Glade in Clearance Year 4, but we'll see. So... Let's actually see. I could disable all woodcutters, or at least 2. No, it needs to be all woodcutters. Yeah, well, let's do that really quickly. Just so that we can survive the storm and not lose anyone. We'll accept these orders. We can do this. Yeah, probably going to be doing... Yeah, we're not using trade... I really should be using trade routes. I'm not, though. 5 trade routes, caches. I think I opened one, didn't I? Well, we'll take the order, but it's not going to do much for me. We'll take the next order as it comes as well, but for the moment, I guess we'll just have people making paths here and there, if possible. So we'll move this woodcutter's camp over, because right up to this, where this mine will theoretically be. There's also a coal vein there, I just realized. But what I actually want to do is just set up roads, because I feel like... Can we even set up a mine here if I wanted to? We can, because that's a 3rd coal vein there I didn't see, but... Anywho. And if I want to set up... Because I think there's a coal vein there. Nope, that's just the tree. But you get the point. Let's just make things easier for our villagers while we're sitting here. 1, 2, 3, 4... And then do that. I usually like to leave a 4x4 if I were to guess... But we'll see. And then I think I can use these crude works. Yeah, we have a lot of people just sitting around at the moment. But it's not like I can do much else with them as well. I probably could, but I'm just kind of sitting here for the moment. If the thing's about to... Yeah, if we're about to complete this, let's assign everyone and just go gung-ho. Actually, I say everyone, but we don't really have anyone. So instead... We'll do this. We'll put a fox and 2 lizards in the 2nd woodcutter's camp. Again, I'm trying to narrate out loud, so while I kind of autopilot the rest of this season, I'll explain why. So usually I like to talk out loud because, you know, maybe someone's watching and or listening to this on mobile, and especially for games with heavy tech, with a lot of text, it's not easy for people to read the text on a smaller monitor, essentially. That's the logic that follows. So it therefore follows that if you're making content, at least in my opinion, it kind of helps to say things out loud. By the way, protected trade is nice. Unfortunately, we're not going to probably use it. Trade, we're going to reroll here. Lose 62 coal, 37 oil. Woodcutter's Prayer is pretty nice. Unfortunately, we're just going to go safe here. And let's take this next order, by the way. While we're sitting here, I don't have any salvage buildings, so I guess instead we're just going to do the geyser pump upgrades. Or try to. Now, keep in mind, we don't have a lot of ways to make fabric aside from the plant fiber we have, but that is why we are sitting here, doing what we can. And hopefully with, well, definitely with 4 farmers, we can harvest everything, but I don't think we're making use of everything. If my count on farming is to be correct, because this is about 11 plots, and usually 2 farmers in 1 farm can only handle like 7 to 8 from what I see. Also, well, we can't really use these villagers at the moment. That being said, do we have anything else? Just a bunch of stones, really. Which is nice, but I think instead we want to just essentially make mines. I should also do this. Hello, Farlove. I have nothing to sell you, probably. Aside from parts-ish, but it would probably be to get pipes here. Actually, with that said, out of curiosity, I'm going to pause it really quickly. I mean, we pretty much are going to use these planks, but if I were to look at these upgrades, so this is, that's going to be wildfire. Let's buy the pipes now. I thought I need more, though. I did burp in the middle of that. Ooh, excuse me. But I don't want to sell these parts. I'm probably going to. Oops, not that many. And we'll kind of cut in between there. So there goes 2 parts, but I think I need these pipes. I would like to buy some planks as well, but that's not going to happen. So there goes 2 parts, but we should be able to handle this still. Granted, the mine also costs parts, so if I want to do a lot more gathering things, keep in mind, I think we're in the magical Forbidden Glade land. Actually, I should check that really quickly. Yeah, where once we cut into a Forbidden Glade, we have a pseudo-infinite node. But that will probably happen in year 5 because we won't be able to do it now. Anywho. So yeah, we will be using Wildfire Essence for this geyser pump, theoretically speaking. Never mind, we have no one free. But when we do, again, it'll probably be this. Yeah, let's actually deactivate the press for the moment. We should be okay. A little bit, if we're at least taking orders, but also for this mine, it would probably be helpful. Are we using any wood? No, we're not. So we can actually instead. I don't know what else we're doing. We'll have this fox make planks. That's all I have to say. Anything else? So yeah, making a mine and upgrading it to level 2 would also be in my interest, but I guess we will. Let's see what happens. Yeah, because we need to be level 2, and that will cost some pipes as well, which I just tossed out the window, so never mind. Yeah, and if this were on a higher prestige, that would not fly. So, we need bricks for this, 2 more pipes, as I thought. We get more parts from, so I actually could have sold more parts if I wanted to, but we're primarily doing that for the thing. Maybe we do want to make a. We want to cut into this Forbidden Glade in the middle. We will need planks for it, which we just thankfully got more villagers, but otherwise, we're gonna double time over here. So, oh my goodness, we can't fit anything, but it's not like we can fit. We can't make the hearth yet anyway, so here we are. Out of curiosity, does this fit? It does. Once I cut this tree really right here. And I guess we will cut into the Forbidden Glade. That being said, yeah, my hostility is not decreasing anymore because I don't have any more oil to give. I could grab these lizards and make oil, but I don't think it's an opportune time for me to to do what I'm trying to say here. We don't have any drizzle, but we might as well just leave them in there. Leave the villagers in the rain collector for the moment. What was that upgrade I just took again? We can automate twice if we had 2 pipes, but then I'd have to use more wildfire essence. I think there's storage, right? Yeah, storage for clearance water. Not that we're using any more oil, but we don't have a lot of fertile soil either, so it would be nice to see something else. If I had to guess, maybe proto wheat. If that's the case, no, we don't have an upgraded one. I guess we'll see. So, once we cut that tree, can we make this hearth? Well, we need planks, but you get the point. We can make this hearth. If that's... No, we're going to continue cutting. Yeah, we're going to continue cutting as we were. So, let's first move this woodcutter's camp somewhere else. Probably closer, because then I can do a thing. We're missing shelter space, but we'll just have to deal for the moment. Because there are more important things I'm doing at the moment. So we can set this up. We'll put a lizard here. But yeah, we need a lot more planks. I could actually double up on crude workstations if I really wanted to, but unfortunately, we're using up all the wood already anyway, so hey. So as we move into clearance, we should be able to handle all these. We'll get some plant fiber, but not a lot, but let's prep the press now while we're just sitting here. And yeah, we can continue cutting these trees. We want to cut everything around this hearth anyway, because we are going to do a thing. Now, again, I do need this small warehouse, so I think we need a bit of fabric as well. So let's turn this coal off for the moment. We should have enough coal, including for an emergency, but hey. And then we'll just do some redecorating while we're letting the game rock. But yeah, on my previous point, in my experience, it's better to at least talk out loud. I can push someone to blue resolve. We'll do foxes for the moment. Yeah, and then we have this mine that could have been built. But the press is more important because we're playing temple. We could stop cutting wood here, but I don't think I want to do that. Oh, I thought that was a small glade. I could have also started cutting into another small glade somewhere. Nope, there is not another small glade. There is one here, but I want to cut closer to the wood. That sounds a bit weird. There's also another clearance of water geyser here, but nonetheless, yeah, we really need this second warehouse. Yeah, we really need the second warehouse, so let's make sure that gets made here. Probably just put it right in front and prioritize it. But in the meanwhile, yeah, we have a bunch of stones. I could probably save on stones at the moment, but I think we'll be fine. And we shouldn't really, yeah, need to worry about the blight rot at the moment. Let's also start burning oil again. Yeah, so apparently we weren't getting all of the plant fiber that we could. Also, a closer warehouse probably would help out with that issue, but at this point we're kind of pressed for time here, so, yeah. That being said, did I want to cut to... Yeah, let's cut to this Forbidden Glade now. So, let's find out if I'm going to be making the right choice. We can also move this up here. Will they be able to... I mean, they will be able to squeeze through the buildings, but I'm trying to say... Oh, I don't have any free builders, by the way. We could disable woodcutters as well to deal with hostility. We'll do that really quickly, because both for hostility and to do a thing. I should have actually let go of the fox instead, because we will need a fox to deal with the Forbidden Glade event that's about to hit me in the face. We'll also call Jord, because I don't feel very comfortable. So, what do we have here? It's a mushroom! Hey! And we thankfully have the camp for it. Now, I could have guessed wrong, but hey. Also, so here's where we needed the stones. Figuratively and literally. Every time 10 complex food, we get killed. So we should be able to leave this for the moment. What I'm worried about is getting enough stones. If that's the case, we need to turn off brick production here. But, also, I just realized, do we have a camp thing? I thought we had a camp thing. No, we don't. So instead, let's just drop all of these stones for the moment. Anything else? So, yeah, unfortunately, there are only 3 caches around us, and I opened one, so this order's gonna have to wait. But, more importantly, hey, look at this giant proto-fungus. So what do we get from this, reliably? Ooh, funny enough. Wait, we can't control our consumption, can we? Oh, we can. Okay, good. I was about to say, if we couldn't do that, I was thinking of the previous settlement, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, when we work on this, obviously we don't want people dying, is what I'm trying to say. So, with that said, here are some ruins, but what I'm trying to focus on here is the fact that we have a big dinosaur sitting. Dinosaur? Also, this workshop will help me make planks and fabric better. So that it is in my interest to restore it, rebuild it. But this giant proto-fungus helps out as well, because in Drizzle season we're gonna benefit. So probably take away people from the woodcutter. Yeah, well, we already took away as much as we could. What we'd actually want to do is this. But then with all the wood, we want to... So we have a herbalist camp already sitting somewhere, sleeping over here. So let's put people to work, if possible. Nope. Probably the kiln. Because the kiln is... After they finish making these bricks, they're not going to make any more bricks. So we'll think about that later. But in the moment... Only while it's being worked on. So while they're transporting materials, that shouldn't count. And we do have enough stones, figuratively, sitting around for us to do it. So thankfully, having both stonecutters camp here will help. But once we deal with this Forbidden Glade event, we can assign both people from the second woodcutters camp over to the herbalist camp. And then we have more stone sitting here, but at the moment. So, with all of these parts, also an extra small farm, but we don't need that. Probably just end up selling these bricks. Now, the clothier would have helped because I can make building materials that we could sell for more value. But unless I need something here, which I don't, because the press is the only thing you... So what I'm thinking here is that let me just get my thoughts out. This geyser pump we could upgrade immediately, but we don't need to. So I was going to buy pipes for that. Instead, we can buy things I need to make incense or anything else really, but. We're trying, so let's, for better or worse, let's disable complex food consumption for the moment. Because we should be able to survive off the berries until the foxes deal with that event. That being said... no, yeah, I don't know why it's so hard for me to make fox houses. Now, granted, if I took the forester's camp, then we would be able to make a lot of fox houses, theoretically speaking. But... Instead, I think scrolls can be used in the temple, so it's in my interest to look at the lumber mill. But if I have... Okay, let me just take another look at the giant proto-fungus, because I'm not going to remember. I have not remembered the proto-nodes. We do have a lot of mushrooms. Mushrooms are primarily a meat product ingredient / so we use that for nope. Can't be made for jerky. We can field kitchen it, but instead, if we can do probably pickled goods, mushrooms, right? Yeah, but we do need containers for that. And then we can make crystallized dew through the beanery, but then we'd have to sacrifice getting the fox house. I think I'm gonna take the lumber mill instead because we are sitting on leather, and then we can get dye from the proto fungus. I could opt to reroll here, but we're going to take the lumber mill instead. We're not going to make the lumber yet, but hey. And with that extra fabric, I think I will try and recover this workshop. But again, we're focused on other things at the moment. That being said, so we can just kind of just set this... We can set this woodcutter's camp to avoid glades. I just realized we have not made this hearth yet, which we need to make. If that's the case, let's use this lizard for it. In fact, we will use this lizard for the hearth. And then we're going to take the resolve hit to the face. But really, unless something... nothing else should be using stones at the moment. So yeah, and then this fabric I said I was going to use to recover the workshop. Otherwise, I can make the clothier and start turning bricks into building materials. That way, after the storm, we can use it for other stuff. But for the moment, we should be okay. Even though we're not getting resolve anywhere else, we should be okay. Now, again, though, we do have a bit of a problem with our resolve in a moment, but we can also sacrifice coal if need be. That's the end of the sentence. If we can handle these fields, I should actually concentrate on making this mine as well. So yeah, we do need these villagers, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, let's grab them. So these lizards are just essentially just going to the mine. Now that hurts my resolve a bunch, but we should be able to handle it. Yeah, we can actually perfectly handle it at the moment. I can also sacrifice more oil, but to kind of leave it active for the whole time, I think I'll just leave it at 1 stack. Might be playing a bit safe, but it'll be fine. So yeah, they need to take a break. Unfortunately, they have to walk all the way back until this lizard makes this hearth. Oh yeah, and then we have a shelter problem. Kinda, it's not that big of a problem, but it is still gonna hurt for a while. Thankfully, again, if you're on a higher prestige, again, I'm already still trying to think of being on a higher prestige, so forgive me for that if that sounds a bit redundant, but it's for a good reason. Also, we could actually do this. Do we need a higher level mine? I thought we did. Yeah, we do. So let's use the parts here instead. So these parts are essentially going to be used for reputation points. Also, extra coal. Yeah, we do want this immediately, so we're just going to take this hit in the face. We could also set a fox on the hearth, but I don't think that's going to affect my hostility too much. So yeah, without more jerky, we should instead set these foxes over to this workshop. And we'll see. We should be able to handle this in time. There's no way we don't, right? Yeah, there's no way we don't, although we are using a bunch of stones, but it's for a good cause, I swear. And with that said, actually, is it? I have to disable a woodcutter, don't I? Yeah, I do. So let's actually do that so we can handle this season. We still can't handle the season, but we'll do our best. We can't afford to lose a harpy. But again, if this were on a higher prestige, this would not fly. And even with that, yeah, I can opt to not lose a harpy. I guess I might as well while we have the chance. But again, on a higher prestige, this wouldn't fly. What else did we get, by the way? Foragers can't, but really, we have what we need to complete this settlement. I feel like we do. We'll take another look at the blueprints really quickly. Flour, more scrolls, but we already have that. Porridge again. And we could opt to use this, so I guess porridge it is. Yeah, because mushrooms. Who is this for again? Foxes primarily, but it's complex food. It'll be better for us in the long run. Now, we haven't made a lot of these buildings yet, but it's because we can't really. Anything that costs fabric. We can make this tea house. I guess I should make it. But out of curiosity. So yeah, actually, yeah, if we're harvesting mushrooms left, right, and center. Oh, we need a bathhouse. Yeah. Yeah, we'll deactivate this for the moment. Yeah, and we need to use the workshop to make more thingamajiggies. But for the moment, we can move a shelter over to this hearth without harming ourselves. And actually, I should have these woodcutters cut towards this small glade when I need it. But that can happen later as well. We also have another... Yeah, so the reason... You might be asking, Jordan, why didn't you make a mine here? Because the stone node is in the way. But, anywho. For the moment. Rip my coal, but we can stop that now. If we lose a fox, that's not as bad either. So we're willing to kind of lose that. Though So a warehouse here would be quite efficient. Otherwise, it's like a double, triple the time needed to walk over. But I think cutting over next to this glade is more important at the moment. So let's actually move this really quickly. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, let's actually mark these trees and rip a harpy and rip a fox. But that should not hurt us too badly. We also have yet to be working on this. Wow, we need 2 more stones. Why? Why? I feel like people are taking a break. They are, kind of. But anywho, we lost a press worker. We can actually set a bunch of foxes into this press instead, which I guess will be better for us. But yeah, we'll keep standing here for the moment. They should be working. Yeah, they are working on this now. Let me just remind myself not to eat any complex food. And yeah, we need harpies in this herbalist camp. They were standing somewhere else. Where? Why? Where? This harpy? Where? Anywho. We're not going to lose this extra harpy. We would have lost like... Well, we would have lost a lot of harpies, but you get the point. Extra shelter would have helped out as well. Can I actually make extra shelter? I can make extra shelter. We also have not made this thing because we didn't have the fabric for it. So never mind. Let's actually do that really quickly because we do need this fabric. But in the meanwhile, gain 3 mushrooms for every grain. No, that would have been right. Hey, mushroom production. That's going to help out immensely. Because we have a giant proto-mushroom. We have at least 1,000 mushrooms. We're going to get 2,000. Probably like 3,000 more, but I don't know how to calculate at the moment. We have a bunch of oil. Let's use it. And yeah, actually now I need newcomers, but I've made my choice. What are we doing here? Produce 300 wood, and then 30 packs of provisions for extra scroll production, and a bunch of parts, and flour per minute. Otherwise, yeah, that's not happening, and that's not happening. Funny enough, am I able to do this? Let's find out. If nothing else, the reputation should pull me through, but otherwise, we need to immediately pull people away for the wood, for basically cutting wood. Would have been great to grab the wood cutting cornerstone in that one moment, but too late now, so instead we'll do a switcheroo here, or try to. These foxes would be used for the thing, but I don't think we need both stonecutter camps here anymore, so let's focus on that. I should be able to, because I think I can use mushrooms for packs of provisions, right? I'm pretty sure. No. So instead, we're going to use anything else. I could have also used bricks in this makeshift post here, but didn't want to. We'll use eggs first because that's, well, we'll use it as our kind of, what am I trying to say? It'll be our temporary use for packs of provisions. Also, I'm making extra packs of provisions, so this is not the worst efficiency. It's just that building-wise, it's the worst efficiency. That being said, oh yeah, I didn't want to make this warehouse, otherwise we're all walking nowhere. Actually, you know what? We'll slow down stones for the moment. Because this is kind of really important to make this warehouse here. Otherwise, yeah, everyone's walking all the way to the main warehouse, which is not good. It's not good. For funnies, I could push foxes, but we're not going to do that. Again, part of this is because we have people sitting here. We're doing this Forbidden Glade event, which means I cannot really do anything. This also, yeah, everything here is inefficient because we have to walk all the way to the main warehouse, which is why it's very, very important for us to deliver this now, you silly harpy. This is gonna hurt a lot, though. By the way, this is gonna hurt a lot. In the meanwhile, let's continue. Yeah, so we do need shelter at the moment. We don't want to use any of the thingies. Also, avoid glades. That's all I want you guys just cutting wood, avoiding glades. Actually, I could even do this now. Again, we're saving small glades for storm seasons, essentially. So while it's not great for a pseudo-infinite thingamajiggy, a pseudo-infinite settlement, or an infinite settlement, basically each small glade that's around here is a year of resolve that I can make use of. Because without it, I'd be in a bit of trouble. That being said, we can also get rid of these foxes for the moment. What did I want to do? Oh, let's use some builders to actually do things around this area now. Yeah, because without it, we can rest at this hearth, but the warehouse walk is very, very painful at the moment. Not really much else happening, so we can kind of just sit here. I could sacrifice more oil, but I don't want to. Why? Oh, because someone was already delivering the fabric here. I was like, why are they working on this shelter when the warehouse is higher priority? So for those who don't know, or if I were to explain what I think is going on, at the very least, yeah, even though this is a higher priority than these shelters, what's happening is that so when there's a job in queue for a building, the maximum amount of workers are already working on it. So they're gonna work on the next thing because there's already a job queue happening, essentially. Anywho. By the way, I did want to do this as well. So more harpies here. And let's actually make some planks. I feel pretty sure I can make. And this kiln is not in use, but we have a mine for the coal, so really it's the jerky that we'd probably be making here, which we can make. So you know what? Actually, should be like this. And yeah, let's make some jerky. Can also make coal when need be, so yeah, you know what? Let's alternate on that, quote unquote alternate. But yeah, we finally finished that, so we can pretty much turn consumption control off, but we'll leave berries and mushrooms as the to-eat foods. Also, we get containers here off of the giant protofungus, so rip my Drizzle production from the Salty Breeze mystery, but hey. Also, now we have no more free builders anymore, but we can easily get more builders if I wanted to. We're just not making use of it. But while we're sitting here, we could also be grabbing thingamajiggies. Thingy. Hold on, I'm thinking for the moment. High corruption. We can deal with that. But we'll deal with it as we near the thing. Also, I realize here that again, sitting on free builders, but we can wait. Now we just need to make sure. Can we even make this? Oh, we might need 3 woodcutters camps actually. We might need, yeah, I think we need 3 woodcutters camps. So let's try our best. Yeah, an extra another woodcutting cornerstone would help. I thought I had, yeah, I have 1, but it's still helpful. It's just not the best. So let's do this and do our best. We're not making any more oil either, but that's a problem for later, question mark? Let's actually use this fox for oil at the moment. We do need more oil, but yeah, we'll slow this down, kind of. I don't want to, but we have to if we want to continue benefiting from the buff. Actually, no, we'll leave this at 2 for the moment. I think I can use someone else as well, but we really need the thingamajiggy. We will let this fox harvest this plant fiber, but then we will assign them to the woodcutter's camp, I think. So let's let this fox do what they do. And then you are going to be helping cut wood. And there goes some hostility. But as long as they're sacrificing stuff here, oil here, we should still be okay. Yeah, we're about to run out in about a minute. But I'm trying to do this order, which I don't know if it's going to be fulfilled, actually. We'll do our best, but if we can't make it, we don't make it. That's just the... I was going to say the bee's knees, but boy, my words. Also, we do need more people in this press so we can continue making oil. Now, yeah, now I do have a villager problem. We're about to get newcomers, but I don't know if that's going to save me from continual use. Sacrifice-wise and for this wood order. 5 minutes left and we got like 20 wood. That's not a good... That's not good. I'm gonna actually even go harder on this. So, with that... I know we got more people, but... How many more? More foxes at the moment. I'm gonna take them anyway, but let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of like, no, Alpha 2, I don't get to make more... These foxes don't benefit, but it's fine. Also, if we have free builders, let's make this park. I should actually just go full throttle, but let's make this park first-ish. I'm just gonna go crazy. Yeah, let's just actually go crazy here. So we'll leave 1 builder, but really we're trying our best to get as much wood as possible. And yeah, I see a bunch of caches sitting around here, but and we can make more planks. We can actually make more of everything else, but we'll alternate for the moment. And because we're about to hit storm, we're going to try to get as close as possible without going over. But when we get to about 45 seconds, we'll put 2 camps right in front of this glade. pretty much. So let's do it now. Mark trees. You also are on marked trees, if possible. And let's cut into this glade. We got a merchant, which I did not prepare any goods, but let's take a look, because we have some amber to spend. Copper, oil, tea, dye. So this counts for gathering as well, and I would like it. So from my understanding, just to talk really quickly here, from my understanding, gathering, if you can gather something and getting plus materials from it, you would want to take that over production like incense. So some people might be saying, well, Jordan, you can make tea and incense. Shouldn't you take tea and incense? Apparently no, unless you want to just save time or you're just getting the materials just from other sources. Because gathering, plus production to gathering helps out in terms of total production rather than taking the production here. Which I think I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to do that. But in the meanwhile, it also would help to buy something as well here. Probably whatever I need. Or just for an extra boost. Otherwise, I could save the amber for, as you can see, these other orders that I haven't yet to do. Yeah, if I want to buy tools, I should probably save those. My question is, so yeah, we're getting a lot more wood now. My worry is the thingamajiggy here, my hostility. 5 amber with each storm multiplied by the number of years. So actually, I should actually slow down. Hey, there's probably the only other, well, the second out of 3 fertile soil spots here. Yeah, I really don't want to get hit by the amber tax. We have things to eat, so you know what? We're going to do a thing. Now, unfortunately, my hostility is not low enough to do things. Also, we're not even using those foxes anyway. I can burn coal. I don't want to, though. Also, I don't know why I've done this to myself. But we can now avoid glades again, so yeah. So right before the storm, well, let's just take away the fox now. And let's see what happens. Also, we need lizards for the thing, I just realized, so instead we're going to do a switcheroo here. We should have enough purging fire to deal with this. Yeah, we have enough. We have enough purging fire. And off we go. Off to the races. So, we have enough to eat, so I shouldn't need to worry about any of the hostility effects here. Really, any. I could make a farm. You know what? Yeah, let's make a farm here. Or a plantation, sorry. Might as well use these villagers while we're sitting here. We can also use this obelisk, if I so choose. But for the moment, we'll see. We're gonna cut it close here, by the way. And I'm gonna feel a bit sad if we can't make use of that. That being said, so actually, you know what, Soter? I do need to make a bathhouse at some point in my life, but you're not selling any fabric, so never mind. You can't help me. And actually, we do have an order for fabric. We also have a geyser pump as well, I realize. But I guess we'll save that for the next episode. You don't even sell pipes, so you can't even help me with a lot of my other orders. Yes, I could opt to open just a bunch of these caches. I could, actually. But really, we're looking at the cornerstones here, so... I mean, yeah, the containers help too to make incense and or tea, but... if possible, I would like to save things for when I can make building materials, which, again, we can do here. Somewhat reliably. But we'll see. Again, we're trying to rush this time to order, which, again, it's going to be cut close. It doesn't look like it. With 4 woodcutters camps, it shouldn't seem like it, but it is. So, shrug. I don't want to lose a harpy, so we'll just juggle this, thing. But in the meanwhile, we're actually gonna... I feel like I want to move this plantation. I don't think I'm going to, though. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. And yeah, we're eating through all of our jerky. Never mind, I am not making any jerky at all, apparently. So, yeah, it's because we have all these woodcutters. So I guess I will take this harpy hit in the face, if need be. I could also sacrifice some oil for the second half of this storm season, but we'll see. I could also opt to just burn wood here and sacrifice coal. Yeah, you know what? that's gonna hurt my coal overall, but I think it's the choice I want to make while we're sitting here. So, well, yeah, we'll let the resolve fall just a bit, but yeah, as that happens, quick, we'll sacrifice coal. Because we have a mine, we have a source of coal. We might as well use it while we're here. Timed order is ready, and yeah, we can finally lower our hostility. With that said, we'll have you guys deliver this back. You guys are taking a break. Break me up a piece. More. Do the same here. And do the same somewhere else? Question mark? Yeah. Let's move this woodcutter's camp. We'll move both woodcutter's camps, actually. And once these foxes deliver everything, and by that I mean they're not delivering anything. I don't need this one wood, never mind. We'll just take that down now. And off we go. We can also burn more oil here. But I said I needed to use some people somewhere. But let's grab what this is. Tea Doctor or anything else. Hold on. Before I take that blueprint, let's get people in this workshop again. Pretty much everything is being made in this workshop, yeah. Except for the planks here, actually, which can go to the lumber mill. And we should have enough planks for whatever I want to use, but we're also looking at this bathhouse. So let's make this bathhouse really quick. Let's see. Not really anyone else we can use here at the moment, but it's not like we can make it yet anyway. Should have actually instead made this clothier or tea house, but give me a moment. Make dye, make better jerky. I guess the apothecary. I could re-roll here, but I'm going to take the apothecary instead. And let's find out what I actually want to do. We can also sell something here. We might as well. We're holding on to things. Better for amber anyway. Rip bricks, but better for amber, I think. And deactivate that. Actually knock these down for more parts. And I should be close to being able to close out this settlement. Well, I say close, we're not actually that close, but you get the point. Gain lumber every time you sell goods worth 60 amber, but orders fulfill less. Otherwise, gain barrels. Funny enough, I might want to switch to Trade Hub. We don't have that many orders left, but we can start making a bunch of things. But I guess that's something I can think about for the next episode. So yeah, without further ado, if you have anything you want to say, if you want to have any advice you want to give, because I'm probably going to climb to Prestige 3 in the next settlement. But for this settlement, we should be closing it out. Even though it's not as early as I thought. But hey, I'm doing my best. Oh my goodness. But I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye!